Yo, 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 people and patrons of the night. It is who? What's his name? Say my name. What? 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 It's BD, the host of the Horror Tavern. And that's the bottom line. Cause BD says so. I am the host of the Horror Tavern, and we're not going to be exploring once again the limitless cavern of the horror genre because I'm in a reading slump. I've seen so many movies. I've seen a lot of movies since summer break has started. Since summer break has started, I have not had to do college and a part-time job at the same time. So I've had more free time just because I just have to work. And then when I come home, I got time to do stuff. And I've been watching a lot of movies, a shit ton of movies. And I've been in a reading slump. So what I decided to do today was to go back to good old Scooby Doo content. For those of you, who many of you may know, Scooby Doo is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. Scooby Doo is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's that good old comfort food. I love watching it. It's very relaxing, very enjoyable. Growing up, my favorite stuff that I used to watch as a kid was Scooby Doo, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bakugan, Ben 10, Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans, not that Go bullshit. The original Teen Titans, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Jake the American Dragon season 1 before they changed the animation. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of cool stuff back in the day. And Scooby-Doo has always been one of them. So even though this is not the limitless cavern of the horror genre, Scooby-Doo, you know what? It has monsters in it. It has mystery in it. It's got some stakes. And it's got some fun stuff. So that qualifies to talk about on my channel. And I'm going to be talking about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Not season 1, because I've already done that review video. I'll put it in the link down below so you guys can go watch it. I'm going to be talking about season 2 of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? The show released back in 1969, which was way before I was born, and probably a lot of you were born. But this show reran so many times, I used to watch it all the time. But season 2 of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Was less played. And it seems to be more so forgotten about, minus a few episodes. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Season 2 comprises only of 8 episodes, so it kind of feels more like bonus episodes to Where Are You? Season 1, rather than like a complete season. And after watching it, I can see why they don't really promote this one as much. Season 1 is basically that gold mine, that iconic season full of a lot of great episodes. This season 2 doesn't have as many good. There's a lot of forgettable ones. There's only 2 episodes out of the, I guess, 8 that I really care about, which is like what? That's like a 20% ratio. I only care about like 20, no, not 20%. I'm stupid. What the hell? No, that'd be, I can't do math, but basically 25%, 1/4 of the season I only care about. So that's not really a good sign. And again, it's only 8 episodes, so that's more so speaking to how they just sort of shoehorned it in there. A lot of people think that there's a 3rd season to Where Are You, Scooby-Doo, but there's not. That 3rd season that they promote is actually from the Scooby-Doo show. That is actually the 3rd season of the Scooby-Doo show, which is a completely different show. That show is kind of like a sequel to this one. It like carries forward the same sort of vibe and atmosphere and stuff that Where Are You does. So I guess you can count those as like 3 extra seasons, but no, it's its own show. They treat it as its own show. And I actually just finished watching that show today. So that's what's all different thing. So this is the last season of Where Are You? Season 2. So let's talk about it without further ado. First of all, I just want to commend the fact that this season introduces the whole music during the chase scenes gimmick, which you see in stuff like Pup Named Scooby-Doo and What's New Scooby-Doo. What's New Scooby-Doo? My favorite of the shows. But they introduced that music inside of the chase scenes, which I like. They only did it for this one season. They don't do it for the Scooby-Doo show, which is 3 seasons after this. They only do it for this one. So this is where it started. This is where they started experimenting with that. And by the way, I just got to commend the fact that the gang likes to dance a lot, and they got some nasty ass dancing. I mean, literally, they'll be at a parlor and hitting these moves. You ever seen a man or woman hit these moves, bro? They'll be like. That's how you know they were drug addicts, bro. That's how you know that Shaggy and Scooby were eating those Scooby snacks. They were edibles, bro. Because you don't dance like that as a normal person. You only dance like that if you on another damn galaxy, and that's what they were on. All right. These guys had amazing lives. All they did was just eat edibles, get high, go chase people in monster costumes, and somehow make money. I don't know. I guess Fred's family's rich or something, or maybe Daphne's family is rich and they just mulch off the moolah trust fund. I don't know. It is what it is. So season 2 of Where Are You? There's only 2 episodes that I think are really good in this season, so let me just talk about those 2. The first one's actually the first episode of the season, the pilot one, which is Nowhere to Hide. Nowhere to Hide is different from most Scooby-Doo because the beginning of it opens up with the Hyde ghost basically breaking into a place, stealing jewelry. So you get introduced to the fact that he's a jewelry thief. And then he ends up going into the mystery machine of the gang and hiding inside of there. He puts a tarp over himself and hides there on some real life horror stuff. Like, that's some real life stranger danger horror stuff. And you never see any villain ever enter or really interact with the mystery machine. Here, he enters the mystery machine and hides there while the gang is like eating ice cream and just chilling. And then when they get back into the machine and they're driving back home, I think Shaggy's saying he wants to get back home early so he can watch like an early show of like Attack of the Blob or Night of the Blob or something like that. And Velma's like, oh my God, this show's so corny. It's about this blob monster that hides in the back of people's cars. And then you got Hyde, the ghost, hiding back there. Scooby finds him. The Hyde ghost basically scares everybody. He's inside the car. They all dash out of there. And then Hyde, the ghost, runs out of the vehicle and goes off into the fog. And then they chase him and then find the mystery. That was really cool. I actually like the fact that they switched it up with the first episode. You never see a character do stuff like that in Scooby-Doo. And that's actually some real life horror. Having this complete stranger dressed up in a terrifying, Jekyll and Hyde costume inside of your car, hiding under the tarp, is some real life horror, and I definitely would have been scared of that shit. So I appreciate that fact. Rest of the episode is pretty standard for Scooby-Doo. Again, you get the new music introduced to chase scenes, but aside from that, I thought that this was one of the really good episodes. Just for that change up, I thought it was very good, and then the rest of it is standard. So standard good. The next one that I thought was actually, I think, the best episode of the season is the Haunted House Hangup. The Haunted House Hangup opens up with this like old manor mansion in like the middle of the swamp or bayou or something, and it's a headless ghost. It's a guy in a suit, blazer, everything, and he's got no head. So headless ghost, he's carrying it around. He's got this maniacal laugh, and what happens is the gang has to go to I guess they have to get somewhere and they have to take 2 different paths. They take the wrong path, they get lost, and then the mystery machine starts to overheat. So the engine basically blows out. They have to go get some water and cool it down before they can continue driving. And then obviously they start encountering some paranormal stuff. They start encountering ghosts. You start getting introduced to the villain and location. And this is a creepy episode. Considering it's a Scooby-Doo cartoon, this is a pretty creepy episode. Like the actual haunted mansion, the haunted house stuff is pretty good. I like the fact that they get chased by ghosts. They get chased by floating candles. There's a point in the episode where they open up like a box and it has the guy who used to live here, it has his severed head in there, and it turns out to be like a wooden dummy head, but they think that it's introduced like it's his severed, decapitated head inside of the box, that's unique for the show. That's pretty creepy. And again, the villain's pretty scary. He's got this maniacal laugh. It chases them around the mansion. There's even a scene where they're inside of a dark room and they're all holding on to each other to navigate, and next thing you know, he joins in and scares the life out of them. So that's pretty good. And you find out that the villain is not actually the villain. There's actually another side villain that is actually more so the bad guy in this case. And there's a twist involving that. So that's what makes it pretty unique. The Haunted House Hangup is definitely a pretty good episode. And if you want a creepier, more, scary Scooby-Doo episode from the old show, this is going to be that. A Night of Fright is no delight. The Scuba Diver one, and then this one, and Where Are You, are probably the scariest episodes. So I got to give a shout out to that. Other than that, the rest of the season is pretty meh. You got this Chinese episode. It's like an episode about these Chinese goons or whatever that want to get a mystery mask back for their master. That episode was all over the place. I do like that they have a a car chase scene involving the mystery machine and these goons. But that episode also, I know it's a different time, but that episode was also pretty racist. Like there's some racist Chinese impressions, and like Shaggy doing the squinted eye thing, and then the buck teeth, and it's like okay, that episode was whatever. You got the one about like a caveman that's frozen in a block of ice. That's a boring episode. That was a terrible villain. A caveman, like a plain old caveman's a terrible villain, and the episode was boring. I think you got Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Werewolf. That's a good episode. I think that's a good one. Not a very good one, but it's a good one. You got an opening scene where the gang is out camping, and obviously the werewolf is howling at night. It looks much like, the werewolf, like from the Wolfman, 1941. Kind of like an homage to that. And you see when the werewolf comes down, it's got these giant like red eyes that the gang sees behind like a pair of like bushes or trees. They get scared of that, and then they have to go like, I guess, figure out the mystery. That's a good episode. And then the last one, which is I think like the Phantom one. I think it's there's a Tiki episode. Tiki episode's also all right. Not much to say. It's just about a Tiki ghost on Hawaii or something. And then the last episode is like I thought it was supposed to be like a Johnny Carson show spiff, but I think it's like a dance show, which is why I brought up the dance moves about what these guys do. These guys are always hitting the funkiest dance moves. So they're on a dance show. The show gets hijacked. Lights go out, and then there's like a haunted wax phantom or something. I don't know. A lot of this season's very forgettable. A lot of the episodes are just sort of meh, but there's a few good ones in there. And I definitely think that compared to season 1 of Where Are You, which is iconic, has a lot of banger episodes, has a lot of great stuff. Yeah, this doesn't quite hold up. And Scooby Doo Show has a lot of better episodes than the stuff in this. So this season overall, I'd give like a 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. It's all right. It's okay. There's a few standout episodes, but majority of it is just sort of bleh. And if it wasn't for those 2 episodes, I would have rated this season pretty poorly. And that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to get back into reading. I've been in a reading slump, but I'm going to try to get back into reading today. I read a little bit a couple of days ago, but I just couldn't bear myself to do it more. I'll get back into some reading today, and then I'll see if I watch any more movies. I might just keep rewatching Tales from the Dark Side because I'm rewatching some of the first 3 seasons in there before I get to season 4 and make a ranking on those videos. And that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed more Scooby-Doo content for all my Scooby-Doo fans out there. And hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below, or else the hide ghost is going to pop up in the back of your car. And stay tuned for more content to come. Deuces.
Right, subscribers, hit that like button and that like button.